Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Daniel, and we are here with the absolutely brilliant John and Lou from Rockborn. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elle, for having us again. It's been a
Yeah.
little too long, but it's great to be back on again.
We missed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed everybody.
Yeah, we miss you too, guys. So it's been what, over 2 years now since we last spoke.
I think so.
Sounds about right, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
No, I was going to say we did a tech interview
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah. I think I should really bring that back at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, could you tell us, for those people who don't know who John and Luann are, could you tell us who you are and what you do?
I'm the lead and rhythm guitarist and backup vocals for the original hard rock band Rockborn, and also currently a project that Luann and I have resurrected that we used to do quite some time ago. We're also doing, I'm playing, of course, acoustic guitar and some backup vocals for a acoustic project that we call Unleaded, which is acoustic Led Zeppelin.
Cool.
Yeah, called Unleaded. Yes.
There you go. Yeah. So, let's start off with Unleaded. What made you bring back Unleaded?
I think Lou can tell you about that. She got a kind of an unusual offer for us to do it. So go ahead and tell how you got that came about.
What offer?
For us to for a gig for Unleaded.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, out of the blue. So
Yeah.
she can tell you how that came about.
No. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I wrote a gardening book. It's about permaculture, and it's called well, anyway, I did a garden show, and these ladies, where I did it at, it was at a local library.
Public library.
It's a very large library. And so one of the ladies, I was talking to her, and we were talking about my book, and then we talked about my other book, which is a vocal book. It's about how to sing with good diction. It's called The Way You Speak is the Way You Sing. And it's on Amazon. It's under Lou, L-U, Reid, R-E-I-D. We were talking about my book, and then she said, "Well, do you still play?" And I said, "Yeah, we were thinking about bringing back a band. We were just talking about it at the time, but we used to do a band called Unleaded when we lived in Minneapolis, St. Paul area in Minnesota." Yeah, and it went over great. People are, from that era, the Led Zeppelin era, they love it because a lot of them are older and they were tired of seeing, men in their 50s and 60s running around on stage in bad wigs, trying to look like Zeppelin in their 20s, and
doing the electric
and doing it,
bands.
doing it electrically and really loud. And a lot of these Zeppelin era people, they love Zeppelin, but they don't want to be bombarded by loud electric music anymore. Once in a while, but not all the time. But it was really novel for them to hear acoustic Led Zeppelin. And we do a lot of the electric songs, we do them acoustically. It's not just Zeppelin's acoustic songs. We do a lot of different songs by them. In fact, some of the heavier ones too. And it just went over so great. People loved it. And including this place we used to play there in Minnesota called Rockwoods, they loved it. Their staff loved it. That's why we were thinking, we should resurrect that, and we have friends that, my cousin is in a Doors tribute band, and we were telling him about it. He also thought that would be, we would be great to open up for them. And
so the woman, how did she?
She just asked me
at the library.
Yeah, she said, "Would you like to do a show here?" And I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yep." And so I was like, what? Okay, yeah, sure. And so we've just been practicing. We got it together. Dino from Rockborn is doing it with us.
On bass.
On bass. As of yet, we don't have a percussionist. We'll work towards that later. Probably after this gig.
Possibly, yeah. We're doing as a 3-piece right now. So Dino on bass, me on electric, or excuse me, acoustic guitar, and then Lou, of course, on vocals
and
harmonica and some zills and shakers and stuff. So starting out as a 3-piece, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And so far, I've told just by word of mouth, I've got dozens and dozens of people coming. And they're telling their friends and they're bringing their kids because it's a free show. It's on the 27th of September and it's from 5 to 6. It's an hour-long show, but we're going to have some special effects behind us, like some psychedelia lighting. I'm trying to work out an AI thing where it morphs to the music. So anyway, that's what we're working on. And we're practicing hard now for that. And then we will eventually do more. We'll probably get an hour-and-a-half show in time. We want to just do this hour show because it just popped up and it's like, yay.
Yeah, the opportunity, the gig offer that came out of nowhere.
And it lit a fire under our butts.
So it's like, hey, got an offer for Unleaded to do a gig. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess we're resurrect. Well, let's resurrect Unleaded since Rockborn still currently does not have a drummer. So it's like, you know what? Musically, hey, we got an offer to do Unleaded, do some acoustic. We can bring Dino in, just do it as a 3-piece for now, and we don't have to necessarily worry about finding a drummer right away or anything like that. And alongside Unleaded, we got some acoustic originals for Rockborn that we're gonna work up. I've already got a number of riffs already kind of worked up, some acoustic ideas that we're gonna go through basically. So we'll put them together and record some acoustic originals for Rockborn. And when they're at the appropriate gig for Unleaded comes up, basically, sometimes depending on the particular show, we can eventually kind of mix in our acoustic Rockborn originals in with the Zeppelin, the Unleaded stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Is it
do a new Rockborn album, and I'm hoping that we'll have enough for an album. I think we've got other songs that we didn't do in Rockborn last time. We might throw those in there. And
I think there's only one.
Well, but then there's other songs that are already, that were from former bands and stuff. But
I've got a couple of electric riffs actually for some electric stuff for Rockborn as well. But it'll be this will be mostly acoustic.
Mix.
Yeah, release. It'll be a little more acoustic and maybe with a couple of electric tunes for some new Rockborn material either later this year or maybe early next.
And we're considering, at least I am, considering re-releasing the first album since we released it on March 6th of 2020, which was just right when, COVID crashed on us and kind of destroyed our big introduction, so yeah, we didn't get to really do a CD release party. Everything shut down out here in our Albuquerque area.
Well, the whole
country.
The whole country and probably most of the whole world
Right?
essentially shut down. No live events. And we released our CD and then within a week later, the whole world shuts down. We like Lou mentioned, we couldn't do any CD release parties, no gigs, no in support of that or nothing until I think our first thing we ever did was June 4th of 2021, which was like when the Facebook live stream thing became a thing because of people, couldn't go out in crowds because of COVID, basically. So we did a live stream show just in front of a few people. It was live streamed on Facebook June 4th of 2021. That ended up being the first live show that Rockborn ever did. And that was more than a year after we released our debut album. And that's the way it unfolded because of the COVID thing. So it really kind of ruined our whole program. It ruined it. It really kind of destroyed it. So we're thinking because of that, Lou was thinking about, and mentioning to me that maybe we could look at re-releasing Rockborn, now that there's no COVID, no world shutdown going on. So we're going to look into that possibly as well.
And I've had probably about 6 or 7 people ask me, why don't you do that? Why don't you re-release your other album?
Yeah.
And I thought, that's a good idea. And that's really what gave me the idea, was other people telling me, hey, why don't you re-release it? So
we just got to figure out what all goes into re-releasing an album that you previously released. So we're not 100% sure yet on what the steps you take, but we're going to have to look into
logistics.
that. Yeah.
I was just question just popped up in my head about the re-release. Would you sort of like consider remastering some of the songs from the album?
No.
Oh no.
No.
No, we had the masterer, Michael Wagner. He did an Ozzy album. And rest in peace, Ozzy. Rock in peace. He did one of Ozzy's biggest albums.
No More Tears.
Yeah, and hundreds of other people. I mean, he's got hundreds of thousands of gold album sales platinum sales.
100 million albums.
Yeah, platinum sales. He's crazy good.
Yeah. So as far as our debut album, Born to Rock, there's no way in hell we'd ever consider doing that. No. That thing sounds phenomenal. So we would not touch that.
In fact, when he played it for us, when it was all done, we both sat there and looked at each other and were fighting back the tears. It was so good.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, how blessed we were with that. Oh
yeah. When he called us back to come to his studio when he got done mixing the first song that he got done mixing, because we had to stay really close to the studio, because as he was mixing, when he was done, he'd call us, hey, you need to come in, listen to it basically, and approve the mix, whatever that you like, everything the way it is. Okay, and then from that point, if you do, okay, then I'm on to the next song immediately. So you need to come in right away when I call you in and say I got a mix done. So we came in, we were within 15 minutes of his studio. We drove there, and I think I can't remember the first mix he either played us with. Was either Reasons Why I Cry or Madness, and I think it was Reasons Why I Cry. And oh boy, man, the first time, like Lou said, the first time we heard his mix down, we were just like, I mean, a mixture of
jaws were on the
floor and almost in tears, like, oh my God, man, that sounds phenomenal.
Like beyond our wildest dreams. But we pretty much, in our minds, we expected that because we knew of his prowess.
Yeah.
But still hearing your own stuff,
Yeah.
And the fact that he even considered doing us, our album was, because he wouldn't do Kiss. He turned them down, and
Michael was saying to us in the studio, he says, Gene Simmons came up to me, and I forgot to ask him what year this happened. It was either, I don't know if it was maybe late 80s or early 90s or something. Gene Simmons came up to Michael and said, hey, will you do one of our albums, produce and engineer, one of our albums. And Michael looked at him and said, nah, I don't really care for your music that much. And Gene Simmons was just like,
what?
like just stunned. So he said that to Gene Simmons. Nah, I don't really like your guys' music that much.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Oh my God. Yeah. But yet he agreed to do our Rockborn album. So how awesome
one hearing
was that
of our band practices I had on my phone.
Yeah.
So
to come around again, the thought of even remastering, absolutely not. So just re-release, and whatever is involved with that, we got to figure out what the process is. But yeah, so
I don't think even Jimmy Page would touch it.
Yeah.
He's also a masterer, remasterer. I don't think so. No need nothing.
Nope.
We've got a question from my head moderator, Lisaboo, who's up in Canada. She asked, and it's a two-part question, sort of a two-part question.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite song to perform whether it be unleaded or Rockborn.
Rockborn. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, that's hard.
As far as to perform live,
Well,
that's tough. That's a tough one.
I know my favorite Zeppelin song to perform is, and I'm actually going to do it at, I'm getting inducted into the Iowa Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in September over Labor Day weekend, which is the beginning of September in America, the first weekend. And I'm doing that song. That's kind of like my signature song.
Which one?
Whole Lot of Love.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually and so that's my favorite Zeppelin. And I'd say, I think Reasons Why I Cry is my favorite Rockborn song, but it's hard. I really like a lot of them, you know, Madness My Heart Can Hold. I love that song. I wrote that because I was in the Navy. I had PTSD and depression, but there are so many people in the world with PTSD and depression, especially my brothers and sisters in the military. And I wrote that song, Madness My Heart Can Hold, for all of us. But that song, and then one that I wrote for John, which is All I See. Yeah. And I play harmonica on that, and it's kind of fun. It's a fun song. It's like a real, and then I also like the one that I wrote with Sammy Hagar in mind. I got to
Not What You Want.
Not What You Want.
Off the debut.
I even dedicated it. I just dedicated it to the Red Rocker on the album. But that one is also a favorite of mine because it's so sassy. And it's really a sassy song. And pretty much in, you know, Sammy's character. And I was fortunate enough and blessed to win a contest to sing with him on stage at the Santa Cruz Civic Auditorium back in like 1997 at the start of his Marching to Mars tour. So this was after he left Van Halen. So that was cool.
I think that some of my favorite, as far as Rockborn to play live, there's, I don't know if I could pick one, but several.
It's hard.
It's hard. Reasons Why I Cry. I love doing that one live. It's Not Over. I love playing that live. I mean, that's up there. And actually off of our, the second batch of songs we did, you know, the later stuff, with the tuned down in baritone, in B songs like, Questions, which is from the EP. Basically, I love playing that live because
that's got like an Irish jig kind of vibe to it. I kind of do a little jig,
kind of a groove
to it. Yeah, it's cool.
But I really dig that because I'm playing the baritone and low B on that riff for Questions, and it's almost well, actually, when I came up with that riff, it was for me. I thought it was a really kind of a Sabbathy vibe to the kind of the riff, and plus having that low tuning basically gave it that lower detuned, almost even more detuned Sabbath vibe to it basically. So I really do enjoy the heck out of playing Questions. And like I say, It's Not Over, Reasons Why I Cry.
And Drinking. That's a good one too.
Drinking is cool.
People love that one.
playing that chunky, low tuned baritone, man, in the B. I just love the vibe of this. Love it.
Yeah, what's fun about playing Drinking is that we play it almost like we're tipsy. It sounds like we're tipsy the way we play it and the way I sing it. And, you know, I even giggle in it because it just kind of cracks me up. But the lyrics are funny. But Questions also, that's kind of my psychological questions, you know, and so it has some deeper meanings, you know. It's a very cool song. As
far as unleaded Zeppelin stuff acoustically, what would be my favorites to play with that? I really love Ramble On. I love playing that. Man, that riff. Oh, Houses. My goodness. I'm trying to think what else.
Was it Houses or?
Well, I like playing Houses, but what's up there with Ramble On would be
Rover.
The Rover's fun, but actually custard pie.
Oh yeah.
Love playing custard
I
pie
get to do harmonica.
acoustically. And a couple of them I really like are Your Time Is Gonna Come, which is off Zeppelin 1, and also Thank You, which is off Zeppelin 2. Love playing those two. Really high up there for me. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa, for that question.
Thank you for that question.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
And we've got a question from Jesse 581, who's down in Australia.
Okay.
Hello, Jesse.
Any plans for vinyl in the future?
For a vinyl?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
A vinyl LPs? Possibly. Now, I don't know if this person knows that we do have the Born to Rock, the debut album actually is also in vinyl.
It's available.
Yeah, it is available.
If you go to the Rockborn
website. It is
yeah.
available directly from our website. So when we released that, the debut Born to Rock, we had CDs, we had vinyl LPs done up. So I think we initially had 200 vinyl LPs done up. We've got plenty of those left. So I didn't know if they knew about that, but as far as our future, any future releases coming up, the acoustic and maybe a couple electric tunes, are we going to do vinyl with them? We'll have to think about that. I mean, very possibly.
Yeah. And I wanted to point out too, that if you have the CD, the album almost has a different timbre. It has this weird album vibe. I don't know how to explain it. It sounds slightly different, but it's every bit as cool and every bit as great of a recording. I mean, I like both, the CD and the vinyl versions, but you can really hear that the vinyl has something different,
It's a slightly different vibe.
It is
from it, and it's cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, just slightly warmer. I don't know what it is, but it definitely gives you that vibe. It's a different vibe, and a lot of younger people aren't real familiar with the vinyl vibe. They didn't grow up with it so much, but the older people that grew up with the vinyl vibe, they will, they'll immediately recognize that. But the younger people, they will hear the difference. You will hear it. It is a slightly different, it's just a slightly different theme. But it's also very cool. Just different.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Totally get what you mean there. Totally get it. And thank you, Ozzy, Jesse 581, for that.
Thank you.
Yes. Is there any sort of I know you've got a gig coming up with Unleaded. After you sort of get the the overall sound that you want and the set list, is there any plans on doing it? Any gigs with Unleaded?
And any what?
Any gigs? Any concerts after the September one?
This is fun right now because we wanted to get this down first, and then we're gonna probably look for a percussionist. Just percussion, straight percussion, not necessarily a drum. No drummers.
Somebody does, like the hand drums, congas and different and shakers and stuff
box,
like that.
The
little cajon, maybe with a little kick sound, but a lot of shakers and stuff like that, which gives it the kind of the Page Plant a no quarter, acoustic stuff that they did back in 94, 95. It'll give it, it'll add to the flavor of what we're doing. So that's the kind of hand percussion kind of thing we'll be looking for.
And Dino's even going to do a little mandolin on a couple songs possibly. So that's going to add that Page Plant thing, which will be really cool.
But I think since we're the gig that she got, like say September 27th, it's like, okay, we had at that point that she got offered that to us, basically. I think it was about 5.5 to 6 months out. And it's like, okay, we're resurrecting this project from scratch, because we, the last gig we ever did actually was February of 2015, back in Minnesota in the Twin Cities.
So 10 years ago.
So 10 years ago,
Yeah.
is when it actually ended. So it's like, hey, we got to revamp this thing up from scratch again. So we're going to need some time here. So let's not even think about trying to add any other gigs, whatever, before the September gig. Just no way, man. We gotta have this time to ramp up completely and, you know, from scratch and go over these songs all over again and get tight all over again on this Zeppelin stuff. And, you know, the Zeppelin stuff with their arrangements, man, that's nothing to sneeze at, man, to get tight as a band and get together and that stuff, man, that's some work.
You have to be tight because you can't hide behind the loudness, you know, the electricity. You can't hide behind any of that. It's all very exposed and, you know, bare naked. Everybody has to shine and it has to be super tight. And most people who have played Zeppelin understand, you know, a lot of their songs are 800-pound gorillas to learn, you know, and they're not easy. A lot of times Plant sings out of pitch on purpose, a lot of blue notes. So it's really important to get those blue notes for me as a singer so that I can get the vibe of him. I don't try to sound like him, but I try to catch his total vibe. And that way people are like, oh, I never knew those were the words, you know, and one of my main peeves with a lot of singers is their diction is horrendous. And that's what I wrote my book about. You know, the way you speak is the way you sing. And it's basically how diction affects your singing. But that is my favorite compliment to get, is that, wow, I never knew those were the words to that song. And what's amazing is a lot of people, when they hear the acoustic version, they're like, wow, that music is so beautiful. They didn't realize, and the lyrics are amazing. And they just didn't, you know, they were young and they didn't really, you know, they were just into the vibe and not so much into the intricacies. And when you break it down, you know, you breaking it down to that bare, you know, skeleton, the songs, they have a huge life of their own, and you realize the amazing genius behind these guys, you know, Zeppelin. I mean, they were all musical geniuses, every one of them. It's so rare. You don't see a lot of bands that have every single person, you know, usually one person stands out, you know. And I saw the Stones live, and the only person that stood out to me was Mick. But, you know, he is like the center of attention. He's the court jester, you know, of the band. But most bands, they have someone or one or two people in the band that carry the band, and you don't really pay attention. But you can't single out anybody in Zeppelin. It's such a force altogether. They're just a force. And how they're a unicorn. The band is, you know, a unicorn where every single person is gifted. Every one of them. I mean, there are other bands that have that, you know, quality, but as far as like overall and general, look at how long they've lasted. It's over 50 years. It's amazing. They're still popular. I've talked to 8-year-olds with little Zeppelin t-shirts, and I go, where did you get that shirt? And they go, I got it from my brother, you know. And I'm like, do you listen to Zeppelin? They're like, oh yeah, they're great. I mean, I just was amazed by these little kids that are telling me how much they love Zeppelin. So it's really neat. It's pretty cool. You can even go online. There's somewhere on the internet, they played Zeppelin for a bunch of 6th graders, and they were listening to it going, wow.
Yeah. The other thing about, so as soon as we have this September 27 gig under our belt, so we know we have at least an hour down, everything like that, then any kind of gigs that may come our way after that, basically, then, hey, you know, kind of bring them on in for sure. But the other interesting thing too, is going to be for our some of our acoustic Rockborn originals that I've got a bunch of riffs up is most of these, in fact, if not all of the Rockborn acoustic riffs I'm coming up with are in. I've acquired some baritone acoustic guitars.
Ooh.
Yeah. And in the low B, just like the song,
Ooh.
Questions is in and then Drinking. That low baritone guitars by Guild Guitars. Yeah. So I've got one in B, basically, and another one, identical one that I had tuned a half step higher in C, which is what Reasons Why I Cry is in C. Madness My Heart Can Hold is in C. So so I'm writing pretty much any of the riffs for the original acoustic Rockborn stuff here that I'm coming up with that we're going to work on is in those two baritone acoustics. It's that lower vibe basically, and it's I'm just so digging on the tuned down baritone thing, and the fact that I saw just like about a year ago that Guild was making baritone acoustics. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to have that. I got it, and yeah, so I ordered the one. Really liked it. I have actually three Guilds and actually baritones, and one of them is an 8-string baritone.
That's really cool.
It's got the two middle strings have a high octave on them, like a 12-string, and then the highest two and the lowest two are just single string, just like a 6-string. So just those middle strings has the octave so it gives you a mix of like a 12-string and a 6-string sound together.
It's really magical.
It's really unique. So I have that in a baritone, a regular straight 6-string baritone in B, and then another identical baritone acoustic that I had them tune at Sweetwater. I had them tuned it a half step higher to C, so I have the C. And the interesting thing about having the baritone acoustic in C as well is besides some new material that acoustically that we're coming up with, if we so desire, we could maybe play one or two of our Rockborn songs from previous stuff that was in C on acoustically.
Yeah.
Play that live acoustic version of one or two that were actually in C, so we could kind of throw that in there as well. So I'm really looking forward to us finishing these ideas with the baritone acoustics and going in the studio and recording these and see how these turn out. I'm really actually very enthused about eventually recording those ideas.
Yeah, it's gonna be so fun and like a different perspective, of the music.
Yeah. Lisaboo and Jesse saying that I love acoustic, but saying I love the acoustic. And Lisaboo's also said a baritone would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, the baritone.
It's so it adds this heaviness to it. And remember, this is all like super girl power songs for me, so just so the girls know, I this is a girl, but I'm a rocker. And, I came from an era when men hated female rockers, it was really hard to work my way up. But that baritone, I got to tell you, and John is just a master at getting, the perfect, sound from them. Through his amps, through his vibrato and just his phrasing, which is really special in acoustic. It's different, it's not easy to play Jimmy Page acoustically, so we've done arrangements where there are some songs that don't even have a lead in them, but the ones that do, everybody's just going to be like, wow. They're going to fall off their chairs because he plays it so good. It's unbelievable. And just a totally different vibe.
It's definitely a bit darker and moodier vibe playing on the baritone acoustics. And it's nice to have that departure from the normal standard tuning kind of thing. It's like, I did so many different tunings between our two Rockborn releases, between the debut album and then the EP stuff with Rock Me Harder and then Questions and stuff. I did different tunings all over the place, and I think there's only 2 songs from the debut that are on the debut that happen to be on the debut. Only 2 that I actually wrote and played in actually normal straight standard 440 tuning. Otherwise, everything else I started going down, tuning down, because that was the vibe I was really liking. And it's like, I get a little bored with the same standard tuning thing, So it's like,
Like Page.
Like Jimmy Page. So famous and well known for doing, open tunings, alternate tunings, mixing that up so you're not have the same tune thing all the time. So, and I think since I got introduced to the baritone thing, so since I stumbled across it back in I think it was 2018 or so, it's like it's like I got exposed to this a baritone guitar thing. I'm like, ooh, what is this? I'm like, oh wow, man, I'm really digging this for a departure and something really different from the whole standard tuning thing. So pretty much, I think ever since we did the sessions that have Rock Me Harder and questions and all that, it's just like I don't know that I've even written any riffs on a standard tuned guitar. It's everything else I've come up with has been on baritone tuned down guitars as well as the acoustic. And I think the baritone acoustic guitar thing, I think it's very different sounding. And I think a lot of people are really going to dig it.
Yeah, it's very adventurous.
Yeah.
To go off on that as opposed to just playing the 6 string all the way, the regular tuning.
Yeah.
A440 tuning, it's amazing that this can give our songs so much depth and tonality that is varied and unique, to other things. But each song, this keeps our band fresh, keeps us from sounding the same on every song.
Yeah.
So I know Lisaboo normally asks this question. So she always asks, how do you approach writing a song? What comes first? Is it a riff? Is it a verse? Is it a transition, or is it like a lyric floating around in your head?
I'd say it can be potentially a mix of both. A lot of times I'll come up with riffs. Basically, I come up with a lot of different riffs, and when I'm doing that, like just in my guitar room, whatever, I'll make sure I have my iPhone with me, and of course I'll have it, in a little stand there. And anytime I think I have an idea of a riff of any kind, I press record on my voice memo just so I don't, and record the riff so I don't forget it. And then I may have dozens of different riff ideas, whatever, and I basically let Lou kind of sift through them and have her listen to the riffs and figure out which one she likes enough that she wants to work on.
And what happens is I know pretty much immediately I can work with this, or I'll already have an idea once I listen to it. And these are just riffs, they could just be a couple of bars, but I can know almost immediately I already got lyrics to this, or I can write lyrics. I already hear the name of the song in my head. And I usually write the lyrics. I try to make it match the music as much as possible. That way people really get the vibe of it and of his sensitivity in his riff and my sensitivities in my lyrics. So it's a good teamwork.
Yeah. So to conclude with what she was saying there. So sometimes, quite a number of times, she'll write something to come up with something fresh to a riff that I have basically. And then other times what's happened is on a few of the songs over, even since we started the band, a riff, whatever that I came up with that she liked, whatever, she says, you know what, I have actually some lyrics or poetry that I have written actually that'll fit precisely with this riff. So sometimes that has happened on several, maybe 2 or 3 songs. So it's a real mix of, hey, I have something actually that I wrote, I think that'll fit exactly with this. And then other times she'll be coming up with something brand new on the spot to the riff that I have. Maybe it's 1 or 2 parts of a song, or just maybe just one thing, whatever. And then, but yeah, so it's a kind of mixture of both.
Yeah, one of the first riffs he played for me several months ago, I immediately had the lyrics. I mean, I was like, I already have lyrics to this. And it's something I actually wrote in the 90s. It was a poem, and it's called Guns Under the Pillow. And so.
And then this is acoustic riff talking about here from on my baritone.
And he had kind of this westerny kind of sound, or kind of drive or groove, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. And actually, back when I had first written it, I had written that really very early in the 90s, and then Thelma and Louise came out, and I was like, this would have been a perfect song. I didn't have a song for it, but the lyrics, this would have been perfect for that movie. But it's Guns Under the Pillow, so it gives you that vibe, hide out in a Mexican town until they come and hunt us down. It's kind of fun like that.
After we have like the riff and parts or whatever, and then she has lyrics and melody basically, then we'll come together obviously with Dino and stuff like that on bass, and then we'll kind of flesh out the arrangements of it. How long are we gonna do this part before we go into this part and stuff like that?
Or so create a bridge or something.
Hey, maybe does it need one more little bridge thing or something like that? But then once, so like I say, once I have the riff, and it's basically usually a couple changes and stuff like that, and she has something to it. It's just a matter of working out the arrangements after that, and how many times we do this part and then this part, and then usually, and that's how we kind of finish the songs up. So
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah,
Lisa.
I hope so.
Thanks for that question.
So this new material for Rockborn, have you got any sort of like confirmed sort of like tracks that you want to go into the studio straight away?
As far as any confirmed songs that are nailed down, that not quite yet. No, we're still good.
Except for some previous Rockborn songs that we might do acoustically.
Outside of that, as far as the new acoustic Rockborn ideas, those we still need to be in progress, and we still are fleshing those out. So
to be seen.
Yeah.
Cool. So in your sort of like in the sort of like grand scheme of things, how many songs are you looking at putting on the new, whether it be an EP or an album?
I'd like to do at least 8, like we did on the last one. It depends on how long they are.
It depends on how long they are, and it's just like I have no qualms with releasing an EP, because depending on the time that it may take, to actually come up with 8 full songs. I mean, that can take quite some time potentially. So it's like, hey, you know what? If we have maybe it depends on how it goes, how fast the songs are coming, and coming together. If we end up having like maybe 3 or 4 acoustic tunes and a couple of electrics, and we only have 5 or 6, and maybe we're kind of stuck on some of the others are kind of bogged down, and we're not kind of finishing anything else after that much faster, then we'll go in the studio and record, these 5 or 6 songs
as we go along. And also we want to make sure that all the songs go together, like they fit the vibe of, so that they're not like a big mishmash, it's really far flung from each other. More something, consistent, but not the same.
But still, yeah.
Still unique, but we like our last album really flowed from one song to the next. It's just, I don't know how it happened. It was a miracle. And this is how I want. Now I'm spoiled by the first release. So I'm hoping that this one will be the same.
Yeah, and like I said again, whether it's an EP or a full at least 8, it doesn't matter to me. Whenever we get really good stuff done, it's just like, hey, you know what? We're kind of maybe it's a little slow right now with trying to finish any other songs, but we got these 5 or 6 done with a mixture of acoustic and maybe a 1 or 2 electrics, and hey, let's just go record them. We'll release a 5 or 6 song EP, or that's fine. I'm good with that.
Sure.
Cool. So is there any sort of like new merchandise for Rockborn?
For Rockborn,
Well, we do have a lot of people don't know about the silver Rockborn, or the chrome, I should say.
have you
It
seen
looks chrome.
have you seen the chrome logo Rockborn shirt? It's just a silver chrome. It's a chrome color, like a silver chrome color.
I think I have.
Yeah. So we've had that for a while, basically. So we got the normal, the early, obviously the ones we got done first with the different coloration, basically, and then after that we had some ones that are more like a silver chrome, straight chrome on the logo. So,
Right.
but other than that, actually, I think we had.
Well, we do have that we came out with some large stickers that are really cool from posters. Jeff DeBerry from
Rock
the Rock
Casserole.
Casserole, he did some magnificent artwork for us, and we made posters. We have posters for sale. There's just tons of things on there, and I mean they're all still gorgeous and available. But yeah, as far as like the new album, I'll probably work on a new version of our logo, and it'll be different, but it'll be similar, the same but different.
and depending on how things go, I mean, who knows? We may maybe keep all the acoustic songs together and have just the acoustics on a release. Basically, if we end up coming up with one or two electric songs, we'll see if we maybe keep them off and just have like
save them for a later
them from a later thing, but maybe just
next EP.
But if we end up having like just like an unplugged EP, whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever acoustic songs, and have it be like Rockborn Unplugged, then we're very we're keen on doing that too.
Yeah.
So and it may come out as just a straight Rockborn Unplugged, all acoustic stuff, and then any electric stuff may come out after that. We'll see though. We're definitely not have no problem doing that.
I already have ideas for that cover.
Yeah, Rockborn Unplugged.
Yeah.
So with Rockborn, is there any sort of like plans on doing any tours or any concerts?
Not at the moment. Obviously,
We'll see after we go in the studio and we start seeing how it's shaken out. I might pursue some management. I don't know. It's really hard these days to find good management.
Band management.
Yeah, band management. Because it's really hard to do it by yourself now. You just, you can go on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, but I mean, if you really want to reach people, you got to buy ads. You got to have some ins with the industry. You just can't it's a miracle for any band to make it without that kind of guidance and help. I believe I read that was like 1 in 80,000 bands might be able to do that. And that's just crazy odds. But, we'll see what happens after. We'll see, because I believe that this is going to be an incredible product. I mean, it's going to really carry us through next year as far as I believe we can be done by spring. I've heard his riffs. I've found riffs that I love already. I mean, I've got at least 6 of them I like. And a couple of them I already have lyrics for, or I'm on my way. I mean, I already have ideas burning in my head. So I don't think it's going to really take long. We'll probably have the songs ready before we even have a drummer or a percussionist.
I probably would second that motion. Yeah.
But then we'll have something to play for a percussionist so they can hear it and go, "Ooh, I want to do that." I want to be part of that. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, I think it would be great to just have an total unplugged album.
Yeah.
Save the electric ones for an EP to follow.
Yeah.
Like
electric
we
EP.
did last time,
Yeah.
you know, in the fall, we put out the EP, and I think that would be kind of cool in
Yeah.
that respect, and just really keep the pureness of the acoustic
Yeah.
vibe on this album.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
And also people are, you know, a lot of people have the first album or have got, you know, listened to it, you know, have gotten it off of YouTube, whatever. This will be completely different. So it's like, it's giving them, you know, sprinkles on their ice cream, you know. It's giving them something new, a new taste.
Yeah. Lisaboo has just said, obviously she's just had a look on your website.
Mm-hmm.
The merch looks good.
Oh, thank
Cool.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, this is really exciting. Show them the T-shirt.
Unleaded?
Yeah, show
That's
the,
right. Yeah,
and we
yeah,
have the new unleaded T-shirt.
Yeah,
we
this is-
just got it.
Yeah, we're just doing up some
So-
unleaded stuff
So
here.
we do have the Rockborn, and we do have the unleaded. Ta-da!
There's the front, and
Yeah.
then here is the back.
Yep.
Electrifying unplugged Zeppelin.
And this is actually, it looks kind of whitish, but it's actually a turquoise color. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
So that's
really
the
pretty.
Yep. So that's the unleaded stuff, and we just got these just very recently here in the last week or two.
Yes.
So we'll probably sometime very soon have them up on the unleaded website, unleaded.com, for a purchase sometime, hopefully very soon here. They'll be up on the site.
Yes, and that reminds me, if you want to hear unleaded, and it's you know, live, you get to hear. I think there's 10 songs there, and there's a few live videos of us.
We got a video medley
from way back. Our very first gig, which turned out amazing quality.
The audio
and visual.
the visual, it's not super sharp,
Not great,
but the audio turned out actually really,
amazing.
really good. You could hear everything very clear.
It was our very first gig, which was what?
January of 2012.
Yeah, can you believe it? And
Yeah.
so, yeah, but if you want to hear the Zeppelin acoustically, go to unleaded.com, and that's like spelled this way. See, unleaded, UNLEDDED.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a neat website too.
Yeah, so there's the one video that's a medley of stuff basically that Lou was talking about. It's a one video medley, and then the 10 songs as far as our unleaded stuff, basically the 10 songs that are up there, we recorded them live in my studio.
Practice.
Right in my recording studio at the time that we had. So we had me, we had our bass player at the time, Jonathan, and then Lou, basically all. I was plugged just direct in with just with a cable, just like I would in a live gig. And then the same thing with our bass player, Jonathan. He was just plugged in direct. And then Lou had a mic set up for her bass, and we recorded it right live, right on the spot in my studio. So that's how those were recorded.
What you hear is what you get, you know. And I mean, it's pretty pure. I think we did a really good job. I mean,
and also the live video medley footage we have. Basically, we actually have a percussionist that we had that's in that gig with us. Basically, so you'll hear percussion mixed in, you know, different hand drums and stuff like that. You'll see him set up behind us, basically. So you'll
used to play with Ipso Facto and Taj Mahal, which is interesting because he wasn't an original member of Taj Mahal, but he was in the band, which is interesting because the first time Zeppelin came to America, I think they opened up for Taj Mahal. And then the next time they came, Taj Mahal opened up for them. So interesting little trivia there.
Yeah.
But C. Harris, his name is.
Yeah. So people will be able to see how our stuff actually sounds with a percussionist.
Yeah.
With the video footage that's on the unleaded.com website. So yeah, so it even rounds it out even that much more with
Yeah,
that. But
yeah,
yeah,
totally.
but for now, 3-piece going out of the gate, we're good.
Cool. Jesse and Lisa are saying about the unleaded merch. Cool and awesome.
Oh,
Cool.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I just basically took Unleaded's, I took their logo, which all the letters are high up and the legs are down. And I just made it upside down from what they did. I put the legs up instead of down. So it's kind of fun that way. But yeah, the t-shirt is getting great reviews so far.
Cool. Cool. So, guys in the chat, if you've got any more questions, please ask away. Please ask away. So, you mentioned Unleaded website and the Rockborn website. Is there any other places on social media that you're on? So people
Rockborn, obviously, we're on Facebook, and actually, I'm working on several things as far as Unleaded goes. I'm hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have a Facebook page for Unleaded. We don't have that up yet, but hopefully that should be up within hopefully the next couple of weeks for that. And of course, Rockborn has been on Facebook.
And I have an Instagram for Rockborn and for me solo, but I'm not really proficient on it yet. I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing because I
don't know how to use Instagram either. When we first,
well, I'm sure I can learn it. I
maybe,
just haven't had time.
When we released the day we released for Rockborn, when we were getting ready to release it, a younger vocal student of Lou's named Hannah, who was like 17 or 18 at the time. She was real savvy
Proficient.
proficient with the the Instagram and the social media. She helped us set up an Instagram page for Rockborn at the time. And at the time, I remember looking at them and seeing how it functioned. And I thought, God, this is really confusing compared to like Facebook stuff. I don't like the way this works at all.
Well,
so I think
I'm sure it's better now.
I'm ever since then, I think I haven't really paid attention to our Instagram, unfortunately, at all, because it looks like such a pain in the rear end, the user interface wise. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to deal with this. So I haven't even looked at it in God knows how long, as far as the Instagram. We do have, let's see, we have, I think we have, I'm trying to remember if we have a YouTube or not. There is some of our.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
As far as
we are.
as far as Rockborn,
we have a channel actually.
I think.
Yeah.
We have our YouTube channel, which has, of course, has two other videos: "Reasons Why I Cry" and "Rock Me Harder." And of course, for those who don't know out there, "Reasons Why I Cry" is now over 2.26 million views, and then "Rock Me Harder" just passed, I think, 278,000 views. So we have that, and then and actually there is
doesn't suck.
No, there is actually some footage, I think, from our live stream live show that we did at this place called Red Gorilla Studios, which is out of in Albuquerque, that we did June 4th, 2021, and we also, maybe it was the September 3rd also of 2021 show. So that's actually up there on the Red Gorilla Studios. On YouTube, on their site, actually us live performing on
and
that.
I want to say something about that. The very first one we did, it was in
June 4th.
June
Okay. June 4th.
It was 113 degrees on stage, and it was really hard to focus. It was so hot, and we had no fans. There was no air conditioning. We were literally, literally melting, and I think the second time we played it was much better.
It was a little better, but it was still
slightly hot. But it was only 107 that day, so on stage, because I had my phone temperature thing, and I was like, oh, this is crazy.
See, the thing is that the building which they did this Red Gorilla Studios has, they have a stage and lighting and video cameras for people.
They do a great job
for people to do live stream, shows and stuff like that. So it's a cool setup. Yeah. But the building that they're in Albuquerque, they even during the summer there, they did not have their air conditioning on at all the whole entire day until we started loading in at about 6:15 in the evening. Right. So can you imagine how hot it was when it's like 100 degrees out in Albuquerque, and and that building had no
It's
AC
a tin
on.
building too, made of tin.
Yeah, and they only, after we start loading in at 6:15 or 6:30, then they start turning on the AC.
Right.
So it only cooled off just a little bit from what it was. So it was so damn hot inside that building. Oh man, I thought I was hoping I wasn't going to pass out on stage. So we were, because of that, unfortunately, we were kind of miserable on stage while we were performing. And the September 3rd one,
to me, it wasn't our best, it's not like the best thing to watch.
And September 3rd one we did there at the same Red Gorilla Studios live stream. It was also very hot, and same deal. Basically, the building, they don't turn the AC on the whole day until we start loading in at 6:30 in the evening. So it was hotter than the hubs of hell inside there.
September.
September 3rd.
Yeah, and
it's still hot here. It's still very hot here. September 3rd.
And sometime during either the second or third song of the second time we played there, even though it was still hot.
Oh, I was dying on stage. Oh my God!
But for some reason, I had no monitors, so I couldn't hear, and I think it just sounded terrible. And then they fixed it, and then everything after that was great. The first song was great, but it was like the second or third song, I lost my, when you don't have the monitors, and
you can't hear
you're in this big, and basically this place, it's like a big, cave or whatever. It's just straight, hall. And so the acoustics are weird to begin with, it's not acoustically happening, really, not a natural acoustic. And like I said, a tin roof, so
it was horribly hot, both of those shows.
So hot. Oh my God. Oh
yeah, but
113 degrees. My brain was, I was just trying to remember the words. I was struggling, let alone trying to sing. I was just like, oh, my brain is melting. And I was just like, I can't wait for this to be over. But the cool thing about the September one is we did a half hour of Electric Zeppelin at the end as like an encore. And that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, so at least about 4 of the Zeppelin tunes, 4 or 5 of them actually we used to do with Rockborn. So when we had Dino come in on board for the unleaded thing, he just had to, since he used to play him in Rockborn with us on bass, he just had to. It's been a few years since he's played them, so he just kind of had to rehash over at least 4 of the songs that he used to play. So that made it a little easier to start off with, and then from there on out, after those 4, then he's having to learn actually from scratch some of the rest of the Zeppelin songs that we're working up right now. But so anyways, those 2, I think, Red Gorilla studio performances, I think are up on YouTube from the Red Gorilla Studios YouTube channel for anybody interested to see. The only 2 out of the only 3 live performances that Rockborn ever did, and because of COVID.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa, for the getting the link for the Red Gorilla Studio.
Yeah, just ignore the June one. That was too hot. Check out the September 3rd one.
September 3rd.
That one, that was a good one, except for the one song where I had no monitors. And I sang like crap on it.
Yeah. So again, Rockborn, we have our website, we have the YouTube, and we have the Facebook. And as far as getting back, and we have the Instagram, but we need to get back with learning how the heck to use that. We haven't.
Yeah, I will get that going, and then we'll probably have an Instagram for Unleaded eventually. And part of my problem with the Instagram is that when Miss Hannah helped me with it, I can't find the
password and we don't know where did we write that down, because we were in the middle of trying to get everything together for releasing our Rockborn album, so it was pretty chaotic and kind of crazy. It's like password. So where the heck do we write down the password and the username for that? God knows. We'd have to do some serious searching.
Yeah. So when I do the Unleaded Instagram, there will be much better logistics behind.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. So where oh God, this temperature over here in the UK is absolutely mental.
Oh yeah.
So before we start wrapping things up, is there any final words you want to say before we start wrapping things up?
I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who's been very supportive of Rockborn. It was not easy to, be out there, release our song right when COVID dropped. There was so much support. I'm hoping that people haven't forgot about us, but I really appreciate all the people who wrote on our YouTube videos, and I just hope that we can maybe do some new videos too. If we do some of these songs acoustically, it might be fun to do some new videos. But anyway, I want to thank everyone, and I want to thank you, Elle, because you've been so supportive and wonderful, and your show is awesome. And do you have something you want to add?
Yeah. To everybody out there, after that September 3rd, 2021 live stream thing that we did, that was unfortunately right after that we kind of parted company with our drummer, and after, we had so much other stuff going on as well. We were moving into a new house at the time, basically, and trying to get settled with having bought a new house and moving.
Well,
and
it wasn't finished being built yet, and we had to live in a hotel with our cats
for 5 months.
5 months.
For 5 months, from like I think it was May 1st to like September 15th. Lou and I were with our 2 cats, having to stay in an extended stay hotel, basically, which we thought would be for 2.5 months, and with different delays that happened with the house getting done, it ended up being 5 months. We were in this hotel with our cats, and then the house finally got done at the end of August, and it was supposed to get done in June of 2021. So we started moving in very end of August, early September, and then so much other life stuff happened after that.
Getting COVID. Was so much fun.
COVID, basically, and all kinds of other stuff happened that really kind of made it so Rockborn kind of had to be on a hiatus for quite some time. Because of all different life events, kind of as they say, a confluence of events in life started happening, and where that kind of stuff, it's funny, that kind of stuff didn't really happen so much when we first started Rockborn. Like everything lined up beautifully. We first started rehearsing and writing songs together. It was great, rolling along. Nobody had any bad stuff happen where we had to miss any extensive rehearsals or anything. Everything lined up beautifully all the way to go record with Michael Wagner and get our album done. And then after COVID came in, and then after the, like I say, the September 3rd, 2021 gig, moving and everything, all of a sudden a bunch of just life stuff, just one thing after another, it just started happening. So there was just no way we could really kind of do any focus and do any Rockborn stuff for quite some time, just so people know why there hasn't really been very if not any activity for some time. So, but again, we're ramping up with some cool acoustic stuff for Rockborn. So, and I think it kind of feels right to do the acoustic stuff now. And like I say, since we don't have a drummer, but we have Dino. So as a 3-piece, it's like, hey, you know what?
It's still pretty cool.
With the 3-piece, with the bass and everything,
Smooth.
we can do the acoustic thing, no problem. So hey, you know what? I think it's lining up for the acoustic thing. I think this is the right time, and I think it feels right to do some acoustic stuff for Rockborn and finally come out with some new stuff. So hopefully people will understand why we've been had such a kind of extended hiatus.
Well, and we had to come out. We had to completely come out of COVID. And during the COVID time, I think everybody's mentality kind of shifted and took a dark turn. It was very negative. It was a very negative time. It was a very dark time for a lot of people. And, being holed up in your house, and not being able to really go out, you couldn't really go out and enjoy yourself, I mean, masks, you couldn't breathe, it was terrible. I think people were their attitudes really shifted during that time. So I'm hoping it'll all, we're all out of that now and everything's more positive. I think things are going really well now. It's getting less expensive here now. The gas has gone down. We're enjoying that. We can go explore now. We couldn't do that before.
So we're looking forward to getting some acoustic tunes done and getting out there and seeing what the people think out there. So we're really looking forward to this. So
And you'll be the first. We'll let you know.
yeah.
And be looking for your package. We're sending you a shirt.
You say, yeah, unleaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some bumper stickers. And
We got some unleaded bumper stickers on the way as well. Yes, we do.
Yeah. We're getting it together.
Yeah.
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 It's happening.
It is. So, John, Lou, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to actually catch up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us again.
It's been wonderful to
Yeah.
see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Lisaboo says thank you, and Jesse says thank you as well.
Thank you so
Lisa
much.
and Jesse, thank you.
Appreciate you
And-
tuning in. Thank you.
And thank you for your incredible questions. Those were very, very good questions.
Yeah, really greatly appreciate the
Mhm.
support
Oh, yeah.
from everybody out there.
Yes.
So, guys, if you haven't checked Rockborn out or Unleaded, please do. These guys are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'll put all the links to Rockborn into the description. So please check them out. You won't
Thank
be,
you
you
so
all
much.
will. Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. So, guys, until next time, we'll catch you all later.
All right,
Yes,
man.
and next time we'll have a song for you to